Good evening. Tonight is August 19th, 2026. It's 5:30 p.m. We're meeting at Tewksbury High School in LGI 1. Welcome to the meeting. It's 9 days until the first day of school for students on September 2nd. It's a little less than that for the first day of school for teachers. So I hope everybody's getting ready and prepared to come back to school. If everybody could rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, quick announcement. The regular school committee meeting will be televised and recorded. It may be viewed live on Comcast Channel 22 and on Verizon Channel 34 on youtube.com/TewksburyTV under the open meeting law. The public is permitted to make an audio or video recording of an open session at a public meeting. At this time, I'm asking if anybody is recording tonight's video. Okay, thank you. If you could all join me in a moment of silence. We had another member of our school community pass away. She was a well-loved teacher, Karen Santolo. She taught at the elementary schools here at the Shawsheen, North Street, and Dewing. So if you could join me in just a brief moment of silence. Thank you very much. And Mrs. Santolo was also a graduate of Tewksbury High School as well. So my condolences to her family. So moving on, prior to tonight's meeting, in case anybody's not aware, some of us have had a long day. This is the third open meeting for some of us today. The committee met in the library this afternoon for our annual review of our committee goals and board ethics and protocols. We engaged in some healthy conversation, reflecting on this past year's work for the committee, looking ahead at what our roles and responsibilities are, how we best can support the superintendent and the district. The ultimate goal for that in our doing this is to help to support improving student achievement while ensuring some fiscal integrity for the district. So there's more to come on this, and we'll be sharing that in an upcoming meeting. And then in an upcoming agenda item, we'll be discussing the district's strategic plan for 2026 and 2027, where we met with the superintendent and the district leadership team, which was outstanding. So thank you to the principals for staying so we can discuss some handbooks as well later. So just wanted to share that with the community. Citizens Forum, we don't have anybody here to join us, but I would welcome to take a vote out of order if anybody's so interested. That would be business item 13D.
Madam Chair, I make a motion to take item 13D out of order now.
And that would be a cell phone project at the Heathbrook School. So we have a motion by Ms. Biagioni-Smith.
Second.
Second by Mr. Lloyd. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So thank you. So I would welcome two gentlemen would like to join us. So this is Dr. Milligan, if you'd like to just kind of briefly introduce.
So tonight, I think we have Robert Maynard, our Assistant Town Manager, that has joined us tonight, along with Eric Ryder from the Select Board.
Okay, thank you. So welcome, thanks for joining us. We asked you to come here tonight because we are aware of the project that's been a warrant article, and so that we could just discuss it in open meeting. Mr. Maynard, if you could just bring us up to speed where the project's at, and then what's the school committee's role in all of that, and how can we be supportive to you and then to the Select Board as well. And thank you both for coming tonight.
Thank you for having us. We're very happy to be here to discuss. So to take everybody through, about a year ago, Verizon had reached out to the town to let us know that they had identified an area where they would like to install a cell tower. And the town was very delighted by this because we had for a long time known that this area of town was struggling with cell service. At that time, there was some transitions in our office, so this article kind of was put on the back burner. Coming forward to this summer, we're looking to have this article go to the fall to enable us to be able to put out an RFP to solicit bids to have somebody come in and install this cell tower. So this warrant article is kind of the starting point for that process. If you look at the language of it right now, it's pretty basic, and the language is just establishing the terms for the lease. The reason we're doing the warrant article prior to doing an RFP, if we were to do an RFP based on certain terms and parameters and then have to go forward to town meeting and have them vote on that, and town meeting was to vote no, all that work for the RFP would kind of be for waste. Whereas this way, the warrant article will establish the parameters for the RFP, so we know that the town approves of it, and it kind of sets us off with no hesitation or no worries of this eventually not being approved by the town. That's not to say that the warrant article, if it does pass, approves the cell tower to just go in without any more oversight from the town. If the warrant article was to pass, like I said, the town would then put out an RFP based on those specifications. We would solicit bids, award the bid, and then whoever is awarded the bid would have to go through a site plan review with the planning board. That would entail a public hearing where residents and abutters can come, they can express their concerns, they can ask questions. I understand that there are questions now pertaining to the impact of Wi-Fi or the cell tower for the neighborhood or the school children. Now is really not the time for those questions. Right now, we're just trying to establish that there is a want and a need for the cell tower and to establish a place for it. And then when they go through that whole site plan review, that's when those questions can be asked about like impacts to the neighborhood, impacts to the children. And the planning board at that time could still say no to this project. The project could still be stopped then. So I just want to make it known that the warrant article does not guarantee the cell tower. It just enables the town to put out an RFP to bring in a cell tower. But why we're here tonight and what we're looking for from the school committee is the proposed location of the cell tower is at the Heathbrook Elementary School, which is under the care, custody, and control of the school department, the school committee. We would be looking for a vote from the school committee to transfer the care, custody, and control of said parcel to the town. And so that way that would fully enable us to have this warrant article, do the RFP, and follow through with that process.
Okay, great, thank you. Anything from you, Mr. Ryder, to add?
You know, at that point, if the board is inclined to vote and go in that direction, then it would follow, it would go through the select board, it will go through again through the planning board process and allow opportunity for residents, the abutters, anyone impacted. I'm sure there's, question concerns from, parents that have school children at the school. So a lot of those questions will be answered in those forums. So again, this is not guaranteeing that this is going to happen. It's just the first step in the process.
Okay. Dr. Milligan, any concerns or thoughts on your end?
So after speaking with Verizon, with the rep from Verizon, from our school district's perspective, it wouldn't impact school whether during construction or after construction. That is in a part of our land that's not easily accessible, and that they would not be removing any trees to keep the area. There's an area about 75 by 75 area that they'd be putting the cell phone tower on. That is, the trees would block view, and so it wouldn't be noticeable from our playground. It would impact our ball field, and it wouldn't impact the day-to-day operations of our building. So as I was talking to the Verizon rep from a school district's perspective, knowing those pieces, that it would have little to no impact on how we operate at that site. I didn't have any concerns from the initial conversation with Verizon at this time.
Okay. In terms of safety for students?
So according to the person I talked to, he has all that literature, and I think to Mr. Maynard's point, that would come up as part of the process, but he had all that literature that would be available that we could preview and also be part of the process at any time that if we'd like to oppose the project moving forward.
Yeah, I didn't mean from a cell perspective, I meant from like a construction.
No.
The space from where students are.
No.
Okay. Okay, any questions or comments from the committee?
One, and it's just for clarification, really, for me. When you said it'll transfer ownership of the parcel to the select board to do what they need to do, is it just that small, whatever component it would be that the cell tower itself would be on, or would it be the wider area?
So currently it is one parcel. So you would transfer that parcel over to us. When we would write out the RFP, we would specify that exact location of it. So it wouldn't be any threat of it going anywhere on site. We would confine it to that known spot.
And would it be temporary just to get it over, and then the parcel would come back to the wider parcel would come back to ownership of the,
In full transparency and honesty, we haven't gotten that far
Okay.
yet, but that would be the intent.
And that can be done, once the process
Right.
starts, once it's approved, you could segment the parcel, break out the portion, the 75 by 75 section, and then transfer the remaining portion back to the care and control of the school committee.
well, I mean, I know it's under the school reuse committee
Yes.
and all that, and that's still pending. I think we're supposed to be hearing a result in the next couple months. So it may be a moot point anyways, but just in the off chance that they do continue use, I just want to make sure we have everything lined up in the right ways.
I just had similar thoughts on that as well, but then my question would be, what did we do with the wind? Did we do a similar situation when they put the tower up on the wind property? Do we know? I know it's before, but
This is long before, it's been there.
So the
It's always
wind-
been at the Win.
The wind's been there for 20 years.
Right.
So I can't really speak too
We don't-
much to that process.
Yeah.
But from my conversation today with Town Council Kevin Feely, who's been with the town of Tewksbury for a very long time, it's the same process.
similar, you think, okay. And we're looking for a vote tonight on this?
We have the option to vote, we have the option to do whatever, however we choose to move forward. If the committee feels as though you want to digest this information and we set up a special meeting to come back and vote on it, but the warrant article deadline is Friday,
Correct.
so the warrant, the way it's written right now, would have to be changed if we were to vote to offer up the parcel. I think this opportunity for us to vote to just give back this parcel of land to the town so that it would be under the purview of the select board, that option is something that just I'm learning about today, and that came through Dr. Milligan, through our town council, and through our school council. So that would have to be rewritten in the warrant by Friday. So that would be something we would have to vote on.
Yeah.
So
Today,
a
probably.
question on that part. So would that mean that like maintenance and anything else that comes up with it, if we transfer the parcel to the select board, that the maintenance and the future needs of the tower, whatever it might be, would be under their purview? Or is that something that comes back? It stays with them?
The maintenance of like the cell tower specifically you're asking about?
If we're, the parcel, if we're transferring a 75 by 75 parcel,
So as part of the RFP, whoever is awarded it, it would be their responsibility to care for the cell tower and the parcel it's on, and to maintain that, whether that be through painting it or whatever it may yield, but it would be their responsibility.
And from my understanding, speaking with the representative from Verizon, there's usually monthly maintenance that the company goes in to ensure that the cell phone tower is working properly as expected.
So my question that I have, the drawings that we have show the wires going through the parking lot, right over where we have the drop-off pickup, over the around the playground, there's underground wiring. And was that designed by Tewksbury's Engineering?
No, that was designed by
The third
Verizon.
party?
That whole plan.
So is there a good chance that if this were to go through, all of that engineering could be redone or done differently?
It's something that would kind of, that would come up as a conversation when they go through that site plan process.
So whoever were to win the RFP could look at this and say, we have a more cost-effective way, we have better technology. So we could be looking at this and saying, this makes sense, this works for us, it's safe for the students. We'll vote to give the parcel to the town, and it makes sense for the Heathbrook. The RFP gets awarded, and there could be a completely different engineering plan that looks very different. 9 sets of wires that cross the playground, or, you know what I mean? Like,
No,
so
I do.
that's hard to, I'm thinking as a resident and representing residents, as you do too, Eric. And so based on what we're looking at with this engineering plan, I live in that zone with no cell coverage. I lost the superintendent's phone call today. So, it's tough. But I look at that plan and think this is gonna make sense. But it worries me to say that we're gonna approve all of this and just say, yeah, it makes sense, but then we don't know what the engineering plan ultimately is gonna be.
Yes.
And I can speak to that. You know, as part of the site plan review, a lot of that, whoever wins after the RFP goes out, then that company will come in front of the planning board. And a lot of that can be vetted out. Say, we've seen a preliminary drawing from company X, you know, the school department is okay with it the way it stands in the proposed drawing. Is there something deviating from that? You know, it could be limited time frame during construction. You know, work has to be done before X time. You have a window if there's summertime. At that point, it's probably going to be a next year project by the time this all gets through the process. And a lot of those things can be implemented. You know, planning board's not going to necessarily allow, you know, switch gear in the middle of the athletic field. So again, these are preliminary drawings, but they are a standard set of drawings that most cell companies are using. Verizon being one of the bigger firms. Usually they're successful, and then they'll bring other cell providers onto their tower and lease that space out. But from the infrastructure standpoint, whatever firm is going to do this, they're looking at, it's a standardized platform. They're not looking at placing it, can't place it in the roadway. A lot of those restrictions can be put in during the planning board process.
And I guess another question I have to ask for every neighbor there, this is the only location that was vetted? There's no place else around that was, the Wynn location is ideal. It's not impacting anybody, as far as I know. I drove the area just the other day, drove all out behind the Wynn. It's a tough thing if that was ever gonna be in my backyard. So, yeah, it's technology that people want, but I know that's not our job today to talk about that. I understand it. I understand it's not our job, but it's still technology that is going to impact people's backyards. So I have to be honest and say that it's tough for me to think about that and not ask the question, was it the only place in the town in that region that was explored? That would have served the purpose.
So I know that prior to my time, the town had looked into other areas and they had relied on different cell companies to do the vetting of that. This was the one that came back to the town as the most suitable for this use. And I don't disagree with you that I totally understand. My grandmother lives on Oliver Street, which is close by to the Heathbrook.
Yeah.
So I get
Okay.
that idea of it. But this was a kind of what came back to us as this was the best site for this area to improve that cell service.
I have one other. So Nancy, you mentioned the maintenance of it being monthly. Any impact on the school day?
No, outside school hours.
Outside school hours?
Yes. That was asked of the company.
Did they, if you've been given an estimation from when the shovel into the ground to when it's finished, how long that's going to be?
That's really, from an infrastructure standpoint, again, it's seasonal, you know.
Yeah.
They're not going to work through the winter time. They're going to look at their peak season for construction. Obviously, you know, a window can be put in during the site plan review. Obviously, can't impact any of the abutters and school being an abutter. So all those restrictions and controls can be put in that process. And again, there's no guarantee. You know, there's enough pushback, so to speak, from residents and abutters that, you know, the planning board might say, you know, this may not be the most advantageous location for this. But from the company standpoint, that hits the region where the minimal cell coverage is in that area. So again, they look at municipal lots, they look at, you know, private areas. So again, it is a wooded area. There is an impact from some residents, but with today's technologies, as you've seen, there are similar ones like at the Wynn. We have the one that sits over at the South Street Fire Station. There's variations of different types of towers.
If it's determined that land is whatever percentage wetlands, how would that impact the ability to put the tower there?
That would have to go in front of conservation for all the setbacks.
So it would just add like another layer of oversight to the process.
That kind of brought up the other question I had in my mind. I know at one point, at least some of that area back there was protected for some reason. Speaking to some residents who've been around, it's hard to remember exactly what was living back there that made that area protected. Do we know if there's any still protective
So I had
standing on it?
I had heard from some residents that the Shawshene watershed had like some protected species back there. I reached out to the president of the Shawshene watershed. His name is Brian Henderson. He had no knowledge.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
if
we,
there's
we
something,
were trying to remember what it was. Growing up, everyone knew there was something, but it depended who you talked to, what exactly what was causing the status.
okay, yeah, because I remember it coming up, and I remember talking to him, and it was a big like, no, he had no knowledge of anything.
Anything else?
No, I don't think so. I don't.
Not at this point of it.
Ms. Peter?
No, I have no additional questions at the moment.
Okay. So if we were to take a vote, did you have language for that?
Based on our legal counsel, the legal counsel recommended that under General Law, Chapter 40, Section 15A, for the school committee to transfer the care, custody, management, and control of the portion of the property needed for the proposed tower back to the town.
Okay, so it's not a definitive amount of land, it's just kind of generalized as much as needed.
Right,
No, and nothing about it being temporary, like, because we would,
Not at this time, no.
I will add that our town council also agreed with the language of transferring the care, custody, and control to the town. If you want to add language about temporary, I don't think that would really inhibit our ability of what we're trying to do. It might just provide some, it might just be easier for you all.
And it may
comfort.
also,
Yes, thank you.
and it may also, if it doesn't come to fruition, it could be put back in that, that the town will transfer care and custody back to the school department if this, the project doesn't move forward.
the select board will have to take a vote on that at some point, like to.
We would,
Send it
the
back.
select board would have to take a similar vote,
Yeah.
transferring care and custody back to the school department.
I have another question. So can you clarify what the warrant article specifically would be? Do you have?
Yeah, so I do have it with me. The warrant article, the language of it is literally just for the term of the contract. So to see if the town would be willing, to see if the town would be willing to engage in a contract for like cell tower on said parcel for like 2 5-year terms with the ability to extend it for another 2 5-year terms. And again, it's just trying to create those parameters for the RFP to go out. Let me see.
My last thing, and it's not fair to put anybody on the spot on this, but with the MSBA application, where the application was specifically for the doing, there was also language in there for the Heathbrook. If we transfer property, part of the property of the Heathbrook, that changes the size of the parcel. And then you put a cell phone tower in the Heathbrook. That changes the whole property.
Do you believe that question came up? I just have to go through notes.
And we asked them,
Right.
how would they handle the wiring, but how would that change MSBA's perspective on looking at our properties? And looking at how to support our schools. Because one thing that we're asking them is the potential to rehabilitate versus completely building a new school. Would they support rehabilitating the Heathbrook School? We're doing this.
From what I remember of the plans that were on the table, there was, I think, 9 different variations, and anything that was, the options that were, that involved the Heathbrook renovation was an addition off the end of the Heathbrook towards the ball field. I don't think it would be impacted by the area we're talking about.
And our statement of interest is technically for the doing school with the ability to look at the Heathbrook school. And we did our own feasibility study, but if we are accepted into the MSBA project, the MSBA would be doing their own feasibility study on those two, on doing
Right.
first, and then any other carryover to the other buildings. They'll do the whole district to
No,
look
I
at.
understand.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, this is something I don't understand. And I'm going to be completely honest in saying I don't understand this. And so this is why I'm looking to find people that do understand better than I do to guide us to make the right decisions. I don't want to make the wrong decision and say it's a parcel of land for a cell phone tower that's going to improve service for people that need it. Maybe that's the right thing to do, but is that going to hinder a process that now we've initiated a long time ago? Help us make the right decision.
So I think something that will help clarify the language of the article, to see if the town will vote to authorize a ground lease of approximately 5,625 square feet at 199 Shawshene Street, Assessors Map 70, Lot 195, for a 10-year term with 2 renewable 5-year extensions for the construction of a 110-foot monopole and associated 10 feet wide utility easement. So the article is written to finite that section of the lot.
Okay.
I hope that does provide some ease for the committee.
Yeah.
The 30 years? Is that what that is? Up to 30 years?
20.
20,
did you say?
20 years. So it's a 10-year term with 2 renewable 5-year extensions.
Okay. And that's completely, that's less of the concern that I have. The bigger concern that I have really is the plans in which the electricity and your wiring is coming off of Shawshene Street, through the parking lot, through the play space. I mean, it's through the center of the heart of the school, which is, for right now, they can make that work. But if you're talking about, you want to maybe put an addition, and now, okay, they can rework their wiring, so somebody's going to put $1 million or whatever it's going to cost into this cell tower, is MSBA going to come in and say, okay, here's the best plan? I don't know. We don't know down the road what's going to happen with these schools. You're asking us to make a decision to go in one direction when we're already looking in another direction.
Yeah, that was my big question too, was not so much for that end, but it's the future of the school itself, the property itself. Like, what happens if we do this and then MSBA comes out with a new thing, now we have to start all over.
Right, that small piece of property in the back for a cell tower might not be the issue. It's, because I did ask the question, could they come off of Beach Street? Could they come off of South Road? Like, there's other roads and you need an easement to do that. I don't know.
Again, part of the RFP, to ease some of your concerns, you can put a specific route for the utilities to access that back parcel. So we can get that specific if you're concerned that if a potential expansion of the school at some point, that we could keep the, put in the RFP that the utilities be to the, farthest point of the property to reach that back portion, that back corner, so to speak, that would not impact any future development, whether it be a new playground or potential addition to the school. But if I recall, I do believe it was, Dave, correct me if I'm wrong, sitting on that committee, it's been a while, but it was facing the building left side, but not too far without impacting,
Yeah,
the concern
I
was not
remember
to impact the playing field.
No.
Right.
That was a big concern in that whole process, that we didn't want to impact the playing field, because that was not only for the school, but for the community. So trying not to impact
Right.
if there was an addition to go onto the school parcel.
I mean, I guess we could, is there an opportunity to just put this to the voters and say pending the vote at town meeting?
Well, town meeting could still vote no, and this is dead, and
Right.
this doesn't move forward. All the vote you folks take tonight is to enable town meeting to take that vote.
Right.
That's another way to look at this. The vote tonight doesn't guarantee this to happen. It just, like I said, will allow us to put forward this warrant article, and then if the town does approve that warrant article, it just allows us to put forward an RFP. But there's multiple steps to get to that point, and then even if we do the RFP and award it, there's the whole site plan review process with the planning board. So there's different levels of this, so in no way will tonight be, approval for this and it's off to the races. It's just a step in the process.
Okay.
Last question for me. At the end of the 2 5-year extensions, is there language that would release that property back to the school?
Typically how cell tower leases work is when you get to the end of them at that 20-year period, they typically will like renegotiate for another extension or another cell tower lease agreement. It's very rare that you see them come down. Then again, who's to say where technology is going to
That's what I was gonna say.
be in
It's
20 years
5 years
compared to where it was 20 years
technology.
ago? So, but in my time, that's what I've seen.
But that would be put in, this is also a decommissioning
Yes.
portion of the RFP, and any of the contract language that is signed on, there's always a decommissioning portion of that. If the contract is not renewed at the end of the 20-year period, the contractor at the time would be responsible for removal of the infrastructure and follow all those guidelines. So it just wouldn't stay there if it was no longer.
Being an eyesore, yeah.
Correct.
Wires drooping down or whatever it might be.
Yeah, and that can be it can be put in the contract.
Okay. I mean, ultimately, there's so much of this that is not in the purview of the school committee, so I don't think that this is a lot of this conversation is what we shouldn't be talking about anyway. So I've asked a lot of these questions as a resident, so I appreciate you entertaining me, asking me questions. But, I'm comfortable taking a vote to allow the select board to now manage this. I trust you as a select board to take this on. And then I think as the MSBA process moves forward, we'll keep you posted, and
Please.
hopefully you will work with us in that process.
Absolutely.
And if this becomes a problem or if it becomes a challenge, we can figure that out together.
Absolutely.
So that would be my biggest ask.
Madam Chair, I would be willing to put forth the motion if I had proper language to make sure that we suit the needs of the council on both sides.
Want me to read it again?
Yeah, and I'll move the motion.
Okay. Under General Law, Chapter 40, Section 15A, for the school committee to transfer the care, custody, management, and control of the portion of the property needed for the proposed tower back to the town.
Okay, motion so moved as presented by Dr. Milligan.
I'll second.
Motion by Ms. BJ Smith, second by Mr. Moncada, and I'll do a roll call vote. How do you vote, Mr. Lloyd?
I was struggling with this one, but because it's just for the transfer and to get the ball started, I'll vote yes.
Okay, Mr. Moncada?
Aye.
Ms. BJ Smith?
Same, aye.
And I'll vote aye as well. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
We'll
Thank you.
continue to keep you posted as, communication comes in as the process moves forward.
And thank you, Dr. Milligan,
Thank you very
for working
much.
with
Thank you
council.
all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I would just like to say thank you to Dr. Milligan. She was in constant contact with me all day today and leading up to this, and very appreciative for that good relationship. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you very much. And thank you for taking us.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, thank you. Thank
no,
you.
it's nice to have a good relationship with boards and with
Thank you very much.
town, so thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
You too.
Okay, and I'd like to thank, we have a nice group of people back here who've got like a lot of patience and who put in a full day today, so if anybody would entertain taking out of order.
Yeah, Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion to take 13A, student handbook update, out of order now.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor, please say aye. Aye, so thank you. And I would welcome our K through 14, we'll start there. Right,
Yeah, Madam Chair, at this time, I'd like to invite representatives from our building principals to present changes to the student handbooks for the upcoming year. We can start, I would say start with KP.
what do you want to bring together? It's up to you.
Do you guys want to come together, or you want to?
Yep,
All
everything.
right, all together. All together it is.
Someone
Maybe
bring,
some
someone
things that
bring a chair.
overlap or whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
It's been a day. Might need one additional chair.
Moral support.
Come on up, one chair is fine.
Ms. Wadsworth, would you like to start with your change memo?
Yes. Thank you to the school committee for allowing us to be here. I am representing our pre-K to 4 schools. We have a combined handbook, so both the Dewing School, Heathbrook School, and Center School. We've worked hard to combine and collaborate to present a handbook over the years. I am also pleased to say that there are not very many changes that we are asking for your support in, very minimal. We've changed the dates, we've changed the superintendent's name, we've changed the assistant superintendent's name on multiple pages. We've changed our registrar from Ms. Edison to Mr. Foam. And most recently, we have added some e-bike information based on the recommendation from Dr. Milligan and the Tewksbury Police Department. And that is it for us.
Great. Any questions?
No.
No.
I just had one thing to add. I noticed on the health section, I know that they've worked so hard, and the health team has, and the nurses, in putting together that site that links off the website. That would be a nice link, I think, in the handbooks, if they're interested in putting that there. If people don't go to the website or see the website, but they might look at the handbook. I don't know. It's not necessarily policies on there, but it's a nice link. So it's worth adding.
We can add all those.
I think the families with little kids are more likely to look at fever information.
Sure, we can certainly add a link to that.
So, just a thought. But yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so I will present some changes from the Ryan School. Again, much like our friends at the elementary level, a lot of just simple changes of names or email addresses, specifically for attendance, updates of the calendar, chain of custody links and things like that, and school year updates. One of the there were two changes I did want to highlight. There was a history of doing honor roll lists to celebrate students who were performing high academically. The school had, over time, gotten away from the practice of sending out honor roll letters and things like that, but all that language still existed in the handbook, so that was brought to our attention last year. We'd like to continue the process of, rewarding and acknowledging and honoring students who are putting in a lot of effort and are successful. The one change we intend to make is that there was a behavior component tied to that award. So to be acknowledged, you had to have high academic marks and certain behavior marks. And we strongly believe that separating those two things out were important. And we believe that rewarding kids for their effort and behavior can be one thing, and rewarding them and acknowledging them for their academics can be something separate. So we were just we're removing that one piece of the language from the academic honors section. That added some language about fidgets. Fidgets were something that became something we had to address last year and throughout the year. It's just one of those fads that come through that you have to add language to or clarify well what's okay and what isn't okay. And then the last thing was, again, we also added the e-bike language and sort of expectations for students who are utilizing any sort of motorized method of transportation as they're coming to school. At the Ryan, we do have a small number of students who do ride the bike. We have gotten feedback from staff and community members around that they feel the kids that are coming to campus, they've seen them doing the right thing and stopping and walking the bike across the crosswalk or doing the right thing as they're approaching the campus. And I'll say as a principal out front every morning, I do see the kids. They're not, riding the bikes on the sidewalk, weaving through kids. The kids who are riding the bikes are doing the right thing and getting off at the curb and walking the bikes through campus and getting them to the right spot. So we hope more and more kids would ride bikes, and we just want them to have the appropriate machinery as they're coming to the building.
Great, thanks. Questions or comments from Ryan?
I don't.
Okay. No, thank you, and I appreciate the fact that everybody's added some of that language. I think when there's a lot of information that's being pushed out to the community, which has happened, through the police department. I appreciate the fact that now it's kind of being incorporated into the district, so that that language is kind of universal through the town, through the schools, especially where our SROs are doing such a great job. So, thank you.
So at the Win, other than making changes with names and dates and making sure links were live, we also added the e-bike information. Other than that, we didn't actually change anything in large part because we haven't lived it yet. But what we plan on doing is taking a deep dive into it this year and working with the Ryan to make sure that we're aligned where we need to be aligned. And Mr. Murphy and I have actually started talking a little bit about that. So those are kind of the next steps that we plan on taking with the handbook.
Great. Wonderful.
I have just one comment on the WIN one, and it's not even something general, just more that when you do look in this, I think the WIN has had a history of having trouble with bathroom policies in the past, and the use of the bathroom and having to have a pass and one student at a time, and there's been conflicting information between what is maybe said and what is done. So I think the handbook, I did look, and I think it does talk about there being passes that are supposed to be used. Some people get to keep their pass and use it whenever they need it. Some people, if they lose their pass, they don't have a pass for the rest of the year. So I know that that's been and I did look for any changes to that in the policy, but it makes sense that you would take the time, appropriate time, to be in the school and see how it works. So I would just ask that that is something that is in your mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's all.
Thank you.
At the high school, same thing, updating names, dates, links. The eligibility requirements, we removed the grade of N, which was for no credit. It hadn't been used because the no credit doesn't apply to the end of the term. Updated AI reference and links to different district AI guidance. It says clarified wording of the attendance policy, but that was really last year that we implemented that, and it's the same language. Yeah, we included Saturday school as a possible option for makeup opportunities. That's for loss of credit, discipline as well. Updated the helmet and e-bike policy, and then added smart glasses to the list of personal electronic devices. Very few changes.
Are we good for questions?
Sorry, I was writing.
Again,
Sorry, so subtle, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I was like, a moment of silence. Again, not anything to change now, but just something that came up in one of our most recent conversations was regarding the exam exemption in the Renaissance program.
Yeah.
Nothing to change right now, just again, something to consider and think about moving forward and looking at that program. I would like to maybe just kind of look at that a little closer as the way it's written and the way it's presented. And I know everybody says they read the handbook, but I don't trust or believe them. So
Thank you.
maybe just, yeah, that's the one and only because it came up in a recent conversation.
Okay.
Okay. Mr. Moncada?
Yeah, the athletic fees and the club fees are highlighted for some reason. Are these numbers correct,
Yeah,
or
that
are
was
they?
from last year that we highlighted those changes in there so we can get rid of, that's what the same thing happened with the attendance policy that was just
Okay.
highlighted from last year to
Okay. And I did,
make everybody aware of the changes from the previous year, but we never fixed it, so I will make a note of that.
okay, I saw, and I guess I didn't look at them, were they, on the WIN one, they match, correct? Nothing's,
Same.
You okay? Yeah, I'm all set then. Thank you.
No, I looked over it earlier. Everything looks more streamlined and ready to go.
I had a few things, and they're not just specific to the high school. I noticed in food services, there isn't a contact information, like, so, like, in some of them, like the foods, the health, there's a contact person, or, you know, but like, for students that maybe have allergies, or, like, I did notice at the high school, there just isn't a person that, who would
So
they?
you had a contact for
Yeah,
that?
like food services, there should be
Yeah.
reach out to this person. There's a link to like the food services site, that just feels like a lot of work.
Okay.
I feel like there should be here's who can get in touch with. If as a parent looking at it. The club's co-curricular, only because I think we're doing so much work now with that B. I'm wondering if that should be listed, or should it just be like a link? Like, if you're interested in club's co-curricular, go to wherever they can look that up, because,
Yeah.
you know, where that changes almost year to year now.
Right.
It's not,
I do include it in the, I'm pretty sure I include a link in the SMORE. So we can do that, just have a live sort of.
yeah, wherever you're keeping that, like,
Exactly.
yeah,
Okay.
because I'm like, I know you have something somewhere, I just don't know offhand where it is, but it just feels like, because that's not always the same. And then the SBIRT, and I don't know if that could be a Win and a high school thing. That, maybe we could spell out a little bit better, just given the challenges that other districts have had with it. Just be a little more clear. We could spell it out better. A little
What it
more
is
than
and
just,
how it-
well, a little more than just if you don't want this, like, oh, you know, you can link to what is the SBIRT, like, instead of just spelling out SBIRT as this, and if you don't want to be a participant, you can opt out. Just put a link, like, that takes you to the site,
Okay.
you know,
Yep.
and the Mass General chapter that it's really a law. And then that, it's all out there. If people don't want to do it, they don't have to do it. And it's really clear that the information's really there, what it is. Oh,
And Madam Chair, to piggyback on that, we also discussed that as we put out our annual notification of SBIRT, to have more information and the notification that goes home from your nurses at the beginning of the year. So we can do that in both spots.
yeah. I think for something like that, all the information we can give people, the better, so people aren't confused about what it was, so that people aren't like, wait a minute, I don't even know what that was.
I do add that to the SMORE as well, that it's coming up, and
Yeah.
there's an opt-out. And I usually get information from the nurse, so,
Yeah,
Okay.
and we get great emails. The emails are
Yeah.
wonderful, but
okay.
what's in here, I think, could be, that's all. And it's all little, it's nothing, every year, things just kind of tweak differently, but I think the handbooks in Tewksbury are great. I think there's a lot of information. I think for the most part, people need information, they know where to find it. Every year, you kind of tweak it a little better. I would definitely welcome a motion that we, give Dr. Milligan kind of the authority to kind of make changes through the principals and update us as the year goes on, as those changes are made.
Yeah, I will absolutely agree with you. There's one tiny thing I just noticed it because it's highlighted, actually. It says August 19th, 2025.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
It's on page 2, I already have it circled.
I was like, oh, wait, I just breezed right by it, but
Yeah.
yes. Okay, with that said, I'd like to make a motion to approve the handbooks as presented tonight with the caveat that Dr. Milligan can work on small changes as needed with the principals.
Second.
Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Thank you, and thank you guys so much for staying. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck in a week and a half.
Yeah. Get
Yeah.
to sleep now.
Yeah.
Right,
We had July 4th.
right. Okay, so we're a little out of order, but getting back on track, we're gonna approve our minutes now.
Make a motion to approve the regular business meeting from July 29th, 2026.
Second.
A motion by Mr. Lloyd, second by Mrs. B. Smith. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And that's a unanimous 4-person vote. I didn't say at the beginning of the meeting, but Mr. Kingston is not joining us because he's out of state, so we are missing him tonight. And submission and payment of bills.
I move to approve the submission and payment of bills for payroll period ending July 30th, 2026 in the amount of $1,576,175.64.
Okay, a motion by Mr. Lloyd. Oh, is there a second?
Yep, sorry about that, yep.
And a second by Mr. Moncada to approve and certify the payroll period ending in July 30th, 2026. Total amount $1,576,175.64. Mr. Lloyd, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Moncada?
Aye.
Mrs. Biagoni Smith?
Aye.
And I vote aye as well. The unanimous vote.
And I move to approve the submission and payment of bills for payroll period ending August 13th, 2026 in the amount of $1,546,840.89.
Second.
All right, a motion by Mr. Lloyd, second by Mrs. Biagoni Smith to approve and certify the payroll period ending in August 13th, 2026. Total amount of $1,546,840.89. Mr. Lloyd, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Moncada?
Aye.
Mrs. Biagoni Smith? And I vote aye as well. And for our superintendent, staff report, Dr. Noda.
Thank you. I have a little bit tonight to discuss. So first, some back-to-school information. Last Friday, the district sent out a newsletter to parents and guardians for some upcoming dates, reminders, and new information. In the newsletter, we notified families that class placements and student schedules will be released today in Aspen. We always thank our parents for their patience as we submit our state report that's due on August 15th, which allows us to roll over our classes for the upcoming school year. On Friday, the Tewksbury Public Schools bus schedule will be posted on our website. And then next week, the week of August 24th through 28th, we'll be sending the required start of school year documents to all parents via an email through Droplet. These documents will include the parent guardian consent to administer over-the-counter medications, allergy survey if needed, student handbook sign-off, which includes photo consent, technology acceptable use policy, Medicaid parent authorization form, and information on our free and reduced meals program. We also would love to remind parents and families, if you have multiple students attending TPS, that you may receive these emails on different days as we batch our sending out. So please be patient as those emails come through. Finally, in the newsletter, we also sent out information about our new MCAS parent portal from the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education, which launched to all families on Friday, August 14th. This is a new online tool which allows you to see your students' MCAS test results. At this time, preliminary MCAS results from the spring are available. You'll also be able to see your students' results from past years starting in 2023, if applicable. The portal will be updated in September when final results are ready. And if you are a transfer student, you will gain access to your registration code when the school begins. There are directions in Aspen for these codes. At this time, when I looked last night, there were about 70 families that have accessed the preliminary results to review. Other upcoming dates, Tewksbury Memorial High School, the freshman orientation, including school tours and the opportunity to meet guidance and administration, is going to occur on Monday, August 31st, from 11:30 a.m. till 12:45. WIN for grades 7 and 8 will have guided tours every 30 minutes. Some occurred today, August 19th, from 9 to 12, and tomorrow again, Thursday, August 20th, from 1 to 4. Ryan for grades 5 and 6, there are self-guided walkthroughs available for any families on Monday, August 31st, from 5:30 to 7 p.m. Center School grade 2 will have a self-guided walkthrough, on Monday, August 31st, from 3:30 to 4:30. Grades 3 and 4 will have their self-guided walkthroughs on Tuesday, September 1st, from 3:30 to 4:30. Heathbrook has a pre-K back-to-school night on Tuesday, September 1st, between 3 and 5. Please see a schedule for AM and PM exact times from the building. Grade 1 back-to-school night is on Monday, August 31st, from 4:15 to 5:30. And the kindergarten back-to-school night will be on Tuesday, September 1st, from 5 to 5:45. Finally, Dewing has their pre-K back-to-school night on September 1st between 3 and 5 again. Please see schedule for AM and PM exact times. And then the kindergarten will have a back-to-school event on Monday, August 31st from 4:15 to 4:45. For communication audit, we want to highlight that in our newsletter, there was also a reminder to complete our district communication survey. This is the first part of our audit, as discussed in our district strategic plan earlier today. This information will help shape communication to students, staff, and families as we move forward. I have an update on AlphaBest. AlphaBest had a successful summer program supporting TPS families. The average attendance per day ranged between 67 and 86 students. The week after 4th of July had the highest number of students in attendance. AlphaBest reported that as of today, there is currently no one on the wait list, with 135 students enrolled, with a license for up to 159 students at CES and staff available to meet additional requests. Some of the themes that were reported over the summer included Top Secret, Operation and Innovation, Weatherwise, Forces of Nature in Action, Blueprint Builders, and then an excursion theme of Art in Motion. So it seemed like they had a wonderful summer exploring different topics. I'd like to bring to your attention that next week we have our new hire orientation. It will occur Monday and Tuesday at our Center Elementary School Library. We have a small group starting this year with only 7 new hires for this year for teachers. You've all been provided invites. If you are available to come and say hello, the luncheon will be on Tuesday, August 25th at 11:30 at the CES cafeteria. And that is all that I have in my report.
Oh, thank you. Any questions, comments?
Just one, but you answered it. It was the email for the lunch. The body says it's at the Ryan, but
Oh,
the header says it's at the center.
it is at the center.
I just wanted to make sure.
Yes, I must have been doing 2 things at once. Thank you. I can fix that in your invite.
Great, thank you. Anything else? No?
I don't have anything, no, thank you.
All of the back-to-school nights, where is the best place for parents to find those if they weren't paying attention?
So all of the flyers are being sent out. I brought a copy of all of them. They've all been approved for me, and they'll be sent out from the building principals and then posted on their websites.
I just love that there's an opportunity for every single grade to get into the school in some way. I mean, you know, I think in the years past, it was always, you thought of the kids who maybe had a transition, but sometimes every kid has a transition, even if they're coming back to the same school. So I just love the fact that every kid has a chance to step into the school and have that moment if they need it. So thank you for making that possible.
This leadership team is just incredible with how well they collaborate together.
Yeah, I'm excited for it, so thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Mr. Stamp.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I am pleased to share a quick update on our summer curriculum initiatives. Thanks to our Title I and Title II grant funding, we were able to host successful 3-day summer math and ELA workshops. The ELA work began on August 4th through the 6th, where 17 K-6 classroom teachers participated, completing 18 total hours of intensive collaborative work. The workshop focused on evaluating the K-6 EL education curriculum by integrating teacher feedback and real classroom experiences from the prior school year. Across 3 days, teachers dedicated their time to updating pacing guides, adjusting implementation timelines, and refining resources to ensure instruction is practical and realistic from start to finish. The math work began on August 17th through the 19th, where 7 grades 2 to 4 classroom teachers participated and were facilitated by 2 instructional coaches, giving 9 staff members total dedicated time to collaborate. Participants completed 18 total hours of intensive work. The first day included 3 hours of targeted professional development on the Understanding by Design framework, UBD, not UDL, like we were talking about earlier, including a live training with Greg Tang, followed by 3 hours of grade level curriculum work. The remaining 2 days provided 12 dedicated hours for teachers to revise grade level math units, adjusting pacing guides, and refine assessment tools. Next Wednesday, August 26th, we will host a training session for our K-6 SEL curriculum pilot, which we discussed earlier today. More than 60 teachers have volunteered to participate in this initiative, and we look forward to providing the committee with regular updates throughout the year. This time is invaluable for our staff. It allows our educators to start the school year fully aligned, collaborate across grade levels, and directly strengthen classroom instruction before students even walk through the door. And that is all I have for updates.
Thank you. Questions or comments?
Just a random one. Greg Tang.
Yeah.
I tend to stumble on his videos somehow in my YouTube feed.
Yeah,
I probably watched one, and so now I get them all. He's awesome.
he's awesome. Yeah,
I mean, I know we've had Tang Math forever now, right?
yeah.
So anyway, it's just comment. I think he's great. I think if people should find his videos and watch them. If there was a way for him to present to the community as a larger, that'd be great too. But anyway.
Yeah, he's coming on September 1st to present to the staff for grades 2 to 4. And he has asked if we can invite him to come and talk to parents. We're trying to schedule time.
Yeah,
for that.
well, there you go. Yeah, that's a great idea. So, yeah. Cool.
What are you doing September 1st?
I am, I'm available.
I have no further questions. Thank you. Mr. Libby?
Thank you, Madam Chair. So yeah, we're winding down the summer and gearing up for school in transportation land. The bus routes will be posted by Friday of this week on our website, and we'll blast out an email to everybody to let them know they're up. Our new transportation coordinator, Naomi's been working on tweaking and refining those routes, and went over with them with the routes with her today. We tweaked a few more things, and we should be good to go by the end of the week. The van drivers will be getting their notifications out to the students that they're servicing as well by next Friday. There's another little process now that the bus company has unionized. They bid on routes, so the assigning of the drivers is a little bit more complex than it used to be, but that should all take place next week, and those drivers contact those parents directly and set up the times that they're going to be at those students' houses.
If you said next Friday, sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, next Friday by the 28th.
Okay.
And then the Zonar app, there's a little work on the back end there too. We have to let them know who our students are, what school they're at, and their anticipated bus, so that they can set those folks up. So we hope to have that available for parents by between next Wednesday and next Friday. It was the target we set with the bus company, to give them the information and let them do their thing on the back end of the app. Our payroll folks are working diligently, setting up new staff and getting the new payroll rates in place for folks when they come back in September. And our AP department is busy ordering supplies and paying bills and making sure our everything's ready in place for folks when they come back in September. So busy time, but all on schedule.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Libby. Questions or comments?
No, I don't think so.
No, you answered all of mine.
So one comment on the new transportation with Naomi. Will her information be on the announcement that she makes? I know that, sometimes district emails we get, it comes from Aspen, so it just shows as no sender sometimes. It just comes through as like whoever the administrator is. It'd be great to include her contact information. I have had a few people reach out about who the new transportation person was.
That's going to be one of my trainings, is to show her how to email out of Aspen, so it'll come from her.
Awesome. Thanks, Mel.
Oh, that's perfect, thank you. Now for some correspondence and informational topics.
Thank you. In your packet, you have a draft schedule of our 2 opening days. We are excited to welcome back staff on Monday, August 31st, and Tuesday, September 1st. Staff will start in their buildings on Monday, and then we will come together on Tuesday morning for a light breakfast and a convocation before we hear from a keynote speaker, Dr. Tim Allen. Our theme this year is going to be Supported Teachers, Empowered Learners. This is going to focus on the complexity of today's teaching profession and the mindsets that support this challenging but rewarding job. We hope that teachers will appreciate this rejuvenating keynote as they enter into the 26-27 school year. Okay, thank you.
Questions or comments?
Uh-uh.
I love the fact that teachers are going to start in the classrooms or in their schools the first day. I think I'm interested to see how it works. I bet they'll like it too.
I hope so.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Madam Chair, in your packet, you have the summer school enrichment update that shows a breakdown of our summer programming. We served, the number I added up to was 604 students. I included the police department had a program as well. In our enrichment programs, and these numbers don't even include our upcoming freshman orientation. The high level of engagement in this year's summer program is truly remarkable. For special education ESY, we had 210 students. We were thrilled to welcome these students spanning from our youngest preschoolers all the way through our elite program for young adults aged 18 to 22. Students participated in customized 4 or 5 week programs tailored directly to their goals. To make sure everyone could join, we provided district-wide van and bus rides with dedicated school monitors on board. Best of all, trying out the bus turned out to be a wonderful milestone. So many of our learners fell in love with the ride and are excited to keep taking the bus in the fall. We had a wonderful extended school year. Every child received the individual care and support that they needed to thrive. For the third straight year, a group of Tewksbury High School students worked alongside the staff, bringing amazing energy and making the learners feel truly connected. We were also excited to add physical education and art to our program while keeping up our weekly music classes. Special thanks to all the special education staff, district leaders, amazing students, and supportive families. It takes community, and this summer showed how strong ours is. For summer credit recovery, we had 23 students. WIN and Team HS students had the opportunity to restore credits lost during the school year by participating in a free 3-week program held from July 6th to July 25th. Students attending for academic credit had to attend for 45 hours in person, 5 days per week for 3 weeks. Attendance credit recovery students had to attend based on a sliding scale in relation to their absences during the school year. Students also needed to complete the necessary content based on coursework using Edgenuity, program Edgenuity we've had for a number of years. Students also needed to have a passing grade of 60% or higher at the end of the course and participate in a quality service learning project. In addition, lunch was offered to all students free of charge each day. Next, we were in a Title I founded reading program. We had 40 students involved. This 2-week Title I reading intervention program, serving those 40 students in grades K to 8, was led by a dedicated team of 8 highly skilled teachers. Each teacher created targeted small group lessons tailored to individual student needs, focusing on reading fluency, comprehension, and foundational skills. Instruction was hands-on and interactive, using a variety of evidence-based strategies to keep students engaged and to encourage active participation. The teachers' expertise and adaptability allowed them to make real-time adjustments based on student progress, ensuring that instruction was both challenging and supportive. Their energy, creativity, and commitment to the students' success were key factors in the positive outcomes we observed. Preliminary data from the program shows encouraging growth for many of the students, particularly in fluency and decoding, setting the stage for a stronger start for the upcoming school year. Lastly, the Junior Police Academy, which had 331 students involved. You have a letter, I'm assuming in the packet, from the Tewksbury Police Department, Chief Ryan Columbus, thanking us for our support in running the Junior Police Academy. The truth is, we are very thankful to the Chief and his team for running this enrichment program again this summer. There were 2 weeks full of activities and trainings. Week 1 hosted 168 kids, and Week 2 hosted 163 kids. Additionally, this year they brought in 16 junior student counselors. Our students enjoyed this program immensely, and I heard that if you had a chance to stop in, you would have also seen the police officers and SROs having as much fun as the kids. And that is all I have for correspondence.
Thank you. You good?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, great, thank you. And for our consent agenda, some personnel items?
In your consent agenda, you have 3 appointment letters to review. We are still seeking 2 long-term sub-positions, 1 RBT position, 2 SLPAs, 1 ISET substitute, and 1 custodian. We do have offers out to 4 positions and hope to have everything filled soon. We also have in your consent agenda 1 letter extending a retirement. I am happy for the district to report that Mr. Libby has moved his retirement date to June 30th. This will mean that the district will repost this position in early winter with a July 1 start date. We will continue to support a transition period with Mr. Libby and our new hire.
I think that just means you get a bigger cake now.
Right?
2 tiers.
A full sheet cake.
Whatever you'd like.
Just what I need.
Favorite flavor and all.
Madam Chair, I make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Are you sure you want us to approve?
Go ahead.
May I answer for him?
Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much. All right, congratulations. This is exciting news, Mr. Libby. Thank you. Much appreciated. And
My wife's happy.
Yep, another spring. Okay, so moving on to some committee member reports. Any information from the CPAC?
No, we meet tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow, okay. I did see an email about a business meeting. I didn't notice the date.
Yeah, I will say there, one thing just in case anybody's watching, it's at the town hall on the first floor meeting room.
Okay. Wellness Advisory Committee, I think you're October. Policy Subcommittee, the only thing I'd like to add is we do have some new policies that should be coming along. There have been there's been some new legislation, so that's been passed, so we should be expecting whether MASC comes along with the policy or not. I would like to just recognize that I think the district has done a nice job in putting in place just really good procedures, so that I think even when some of these policies come along, I think you're just in a great place. Like the PROTECT Act, for example, is one that when the policy comes, I think you're already in alignment with what you're doing. So I'm really interested to see how that works out. But I just wanted to kind of say some kudos to the district for what you're already doing. And for our policy and where we're at, Chris and I met with the district to do some more work, and we have some informational reading that this has to be reviewed. It's been reviewed and or revised. We have ADC, smoking on school premises, JICH, alcohol, tobacco, and drug use by students that's prohibited, IHAMB, teaching about alcohol, tobacco, and drugs. And this one, any comments or concerns? This will come before the committee 2 additional meetings before a vote will be expected. Okay, and the public is welcome to reach out in between meetings to the superintendent or to the committee with any questions on policy. So I just want to make sure that's kind of put out there. First and final reading, minimal or no changes. This does require a vote tonight. GBEC, drug-free workplace. Any questions or comments?
I'll motion to approve GBEC drug-free workplace policy.
A second.
Okay. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, so GBEC has passed, and we can get that out to the community. First reading, reviewed and or revised, is JFBB school choice, JKAA timeout, seclusion, and physical restraint of students, and also the first reading, new policy, KBG, Parent Advisory Council, PACS. All of these will come before us again in September for consideration for a vote. Any questions on those? All right, old business, we have FY 2026 final expenditure report. Mr. Lee.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So we've officially closed out FY '26. The date, fiscal year ends June 30th. There are always some straggler bills that come to us in July. So some expenses we do incur throughout July. But the final answer is was completed early August with the help of our new town accountant, Arissa Batista. We finished slightly favorable to budget. Couple of things to note on the first page of the report in the budget, in your packet. I just wanted to point out a couple areas that were slightly over budget a couple areas that were slightly under budget, and a brief explanation. The technology, buildings and grounds, finished the year slightly over budget in those cost centers. And our special education finished slightly under budget. It really doesn't indicate that we're not spending on special education. I just want to make that clear. A lot of our expenses were shifted into our circuit breaker funding this year, which is also allowable expenses there are only special education. So we don't have a circuit breaker program for field maintenance or anything like that. So where we have available additional funding is in that special ed area. So our budget here is represented and not the extra money we spent in circuit breaker to support those programs. So I just wanted to get that on the record, that in case somebody looks at this and wonders why we're not spending money on special education, we are supporting all of our students the way we need to be. Any questions?
No,
No,
Okay.
no
looking good.
questions. Thank you very much.
Mhm.
I appreciate it. And there's no vote on that. And moving on to, we took those items out of order, so now we have the ISET secretary. Oh. Wait, vote.
In new business, you'll see that there is a new ISET secretary rate to be in line with our ISET subrate. The change will require a vote to move the ISET secretary rate from $20.77 to $24.62 to bring it in line with the ISET current subrate. Thank you.
I make a motion to approve the ISET secretary rate adjustment as presented.
Second.
Okay. So I'll take that as a roll call. Mr. Lloyd, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Moncada, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mrs. Bijoy Smith?
Aye.
And I vote aye as well. Thank you very much for bringing that forward. And then we have an MASC appointment for a voting delegate. And this is for the conference in November. We have to deliver the names of a delegate and alternate to MASC for the joint conference. Is anybody interested in representing the committee as a delegate? It's typically our committee, some committees will bring forward all the items and discuss them. We never have. We've just nominated the delegate, and the delegate represents us and votes as we would anybody else we elect. So it's interesting. It's always been fun. I think we've all taken turns doing it. So if anybody's interested in what's...
I would do it again if anybody, unless anybody else wants to do it.
You can make me the delegate, or the alternate, it's fine.
Okay. All right. Okay. Sure. I'll nominate Kayla if you're interested.
Second.
Okay. Okay. And Mr. Moncada is the alternate. Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Great, thank you very much, and we'll ask Mrs. Caliendo to fill that out, we'll get that sent off. And thank you guys very much for volunteering. And we've talked about the cell tower and our strategic plan, which we've covered. Mrs. Dr. Milligan.
Thank you, everyone, for joining the district leadership team today as we presented our full plan, our objectives, and our action plans for you today. In your packet, you have a district strategic plan summary document that represents the presentation that we gave all of you today. And we're looking to, after your feedback from today, post this publicly on our website to represent the district strategic plan, along with the progress we've made, what is in progress for this year, and then what continues to be upcoming for our three-year plan. Okay.
I had one question I didn't ask earlier.
Sure.
When you deliver this information to staff and teachers, do they get a similar presentation to what we got today? Do they get something that's more building based? Will they get kind of more what goes on the website? How much information do they get?
Sure, so we usually parcel it out. This is new, we haven't put on a document onto the district website such as this previously. So we would like to be able to reference this with our committees, the district advisory committee, as we talked about, that we want to make that more advisory. And then as we do all of our professional development, we always connect back to the strategic plan. So we parcel out this information through our professional development days, through our faculty meetings, and then that trickles into the work of the PLCs, because as we discussed today, our district strategic plan leads to our school improvement plans. Our school improvement plans lead to our individual goals, and then the goals lead to our professional development plans. So it's all interconnected, so there's multiple ways that the staff will be able to see this information.
Okay.
Unlike the progress monitoring chart that we had for internal monitoring, we took screenshots of that last year for our district advisory committee, and then all of that information went back to our faculty meetings. We feel like this is a more digestible version of the information and what's coming up and pertinent.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like it's the same information, but it's just kind of
Presented in a
packaged.
similar, more simplistic way.
Yeah. Okay. Curious. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay. No, thank you very much. I appreciate all the work. And it definitely feels like it's you're stepping and continuing on in the work that has been being done. So it doesn't feel like it's something different. Okay, thank you. And any new school committee matters of interest?
Just from today, it would be nice to revisit some of the things we talked about, like, you know, how they're going, the successes, the character strong obviously was one, and some of the things they're doing at the Ryan for the 5th grade. They're implementing for the math, and it'd just be nice to hear how it's going. I mean, I will have a 5th grader, so I'll be living it, but I just would like to, you know, how's it going? So.
I agree. And I think I was thinking a little like that. As we, like, say we approved, you know, we talked about, say, the ELA curriculum, we were in the classroom not long after that where they were doing a session on frogs. And they were talking about, it was really on ELA, but it was also kind of crossing into kind of a science-based, you know.
It was awesome. Yeah.
Right, it was great. And so sometimes when we talk about the ELA curriculum, I reference just being in the classroom just that one day. So I think sometimes when I am saying to teachers, I'd love to invite me to your classroom. I'd love to be in your classroom. Let me come to your classroom. It's because I need to see these things that we're talking about here in action, so that when we're deciding or you need our vote on something, it actually means something to us. So like you're saying, you want to kind of see what this extra math and, you know, ELA time means, or it does mean more when you've seen it in action. So I hear what you're saying.
And Madam Chair, as we've discussed over the summer, I'm hoping that through our committee meetings that we can do a student spotlight, and that was part of what we debriefed after our afternoon session. As we listened to the questions that you had and the suggestions for seeing these things in action, we came back to that student spotlight calendar, and we are now thinking through where in the school year would it be possible to bring students and teachers as part of the SEL pilot to come to the school committee and talk about what are they learning and what does that look like in action. So I'm hoping that the monthly student spotlights that will be added to our school committee meetings will help to see these pieces at this meeting if you can't get into our buildings. And then if there's anything you want to see in the buildings, please let me know, and I'd be more than happy to escort you to any building any day to see anything in action. So best part of our days.
And that's actually great, because now I think the community will be able to see it.
Correct.
So that's great. I'm excited for this. So good, great full circle. Thank you, Chris, for bringing that up. Any other committee matters? Future school committee dates, we have September 16th. We'll have a regular school committee meeting, and then also on October 6th will be a town meeting. So, and that'll be before we have our school committee meeting in October. So future subcommittee and advisory committee meeting dates, we have the CPAC business meeting, as you said, is tomorrow at Town Hall. Wellness advisory, October 7th, and we do not have a policy subcommittee meeting, I think, scheduled, right? Yet. Do we? Tentative, okay. And then for future agenda items, I did have a couple things. I wanted to mention, we did change our agenda slightly. I don't know if anybody's noticed. But we took out the empty blank spaces. Like, you know, we didn't have a student here today, so we didn't have that spot to say, oh, no student here today. Or, you know, if we didn't have certain business, we didn't keep that empty spot. So if you have any feedback as to what that looks like, and if it's working for you or not working for you, feel free to reach out. Then also, we're going to update a little bit with our recognitions in terms of our certificates, if it's okay with you all. Be a little bit less formal without the whereas in our, I think it might speak a little nicer to the students. I think the students might receive that a little differently. So if you're okay for that, stay tuned. Maybe it's a future meeting item as opposed to agenda item. And that's it. Anything else for tonight? Okay. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to enter into executive session. This is going to be a non-public session, to discuss the approval of executive session minutes and collective bargaining pertaining to the TTA bargaining unit. The committee will not reconvene in open session. It'll adjourn session for the night at the conclusion of executive session.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Lloyd, second by Mrs. Bianjoni Smith. Mr. Lloyd, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Moncada?
Aye.
Mrs. Bianjoni Smith?
Aye.
And I vote aye as well. So we will adjourn into executive session at 6:56 PM.